Hello, I'm Dr. John. I work in the Department of Internal Medicine of this hospital. Today, may I present about 5.1935 billion US dollars is disappeared in the fiscal year 2013 financial report of Korean National Health Insurance Corporation. Now, would you come with me and see and hear what is my report? Thank you for your interest. Hello, thank you for visiting this site. My name is John. I graduated from Jeonbuk National University Medical School and I got my medical PhD from Jeonnam University Medical School. Also, I got my Master of Public Health from Johns Hopkins University Bloomberg School of Public Health. Also, I got my another PhD in Public Health from the Johns Hopkins University of School of Public Health. Now today, I may want to present 5.1935 billion US dollars is disappeared in the fiscal year 2013 financial report of the Korean National Health Insurance Corporation. Korean National Health Insurance Corporation can be said NHIC. Next. We experienced several ferry boat accidents on April 16, 2014. There are many discussions about this accident. However, the root of the lamentable disaster is corrupted connections among government officials, politicians, and several ferry boat vessel owners. It is reported that the Republic of Korea is the most corrupt nation among developed nations in Asia, and it is at least twice as corrupt as Singapore, Japan, Australia, or Hong Kong. The corruption perception index of Korea is 6.67 versus Singapore, Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, and US. The corruption perception index does not stop here. If we have a high corruption perception index, our GDP per capita can be lowered to 2.648%. So, if we make more transparent country and we can reduce corruption in our country, we can automatically increase our GDP per capita. The author made a press conference on February 15, 2014. In that press conference, I focused on the amount carried forward was intentionally omitted in the financial report of the 2007 fiscal year by the NHIC, National Health Insurance Corporation. However, NHIC argued, and not only NHIC, but officials of Ministry of Health and Welfare also denounced me and argued NHIC reports was correct and my press conference was incorrect. However, let's see next slide. Financial report of 12-13 fiscal year was reported on this February, and in the report yet there is a chasm of 5.1935 billion US dollars, and that amount of money is disappeared in the fiscal year 2013 financial report. Now let's see table 1. Next slide. Table 1 shows general profile of the financial status of the Korean National Health Insurance by the official reports of the NHIC. We should focus on this left column. In the fiscal year 2013 financial report, NHIC arbitrarily did not report this left column, and it insisted balance of the fiscal year 2013 was 11.4259 and distributable total amount of the system was only $6.8502 billion. Next slide. I saw the chasm of 5.1935 billion US dollars in the pooled fund of Korean National Health Insurance. Here, the unit is billion US dollar and Korean 1,001 is equal to 1 US dollar for convenience. Please focus on the amount carried forward to the next fiscal year. And the National Health Insurance Corporation insisted the balance of the current fiscal year was only 11.4259 and the amount carried forward to the next fiscal year 322056 billion US dollar and distributable total amount of the season was 6.8502 billion US dollar. And balance of the current fiscal year also should appear here, which, as I said earlier, the National Health Insurance Corporation did not report this left column and the author replenished this omitted column. And when I saw these letters, I found out these letters are all deceiving numbers, and you see these deceiving numbers in red background, and by calculation and by balance, based on the balance and the amount carried forward to the next fiscal year, fiscal year 2012, I calculated this lower row in green background prospectively, and I calculated these red background letters by calculation retrospectively based upon the fiscal year 2013 financial report. There, in comparison, we can see 12.0437 minus 6.8502, and this is amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year, 6.0638. Would you kindly see the previous slide? In the previous slide, amount carried forward to the next fiscal year was 6.0638. This amount carried forward to the next fiscal year should appear in this column, but NHIC arbitrarily did not report this one. Now let's more focus on this amount carried forward to the next fiscal year. Fiscal year 2010, 4.8878 amount carried forward the next fiscal year should appear in fiscal year 2011 as the amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year, 4.8878. Also in fiscal year 2011, the amount carried forward to the next fiscal year, 5.7897, should appear in fiscal year 2012 as the amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year as 5.7897. Also, amount carried forward to the next fiscal year from this fiscal year 2012, 6.0638 should appear in fiscal year 2013 as the amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year. But NHIC arbitrarily did not report this portion. Now please remember 6.0638, next slide. 6.0638 billion US dollars. This amount should appear as amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year. And based upon fiscal year 2012 amount carried forward from the previous fiscal year, we can calculate all these figures with green background. These are right numbers. So when we calculate 12.0437 minus 6.8502 and 6.0638 minus 0.8703, and balance of the current year 16.6194 minus 11.4259. 11.4259, and the amount carried forward to the next fiscal year, 8.3991, 8.3991 minus 3.2056. The disappeared amount in the fiscal year 2013 is 5.1935 billion US dollars. So we see and hear clearly the National Health Insurance Corporation omitted those amount of 5.1935 billion US dollars in the fiscal year 2013 financial report. So it is said a single payer system has a great efficiency with lower administrative cost, but we should know it has innate inefficiency and also it has some kind of corruption. And with this report, I may suggest instead of this single payer system, instead of this insincere single payer system, let's have a multi-payer and insurance system. From this multi-payer system, we can have some kind of a competition and more transparency. For the betterment of Korean health, let's have a multi-payer system instead of single payer and corrupted National Health Insurance Corporation. Thank you.